Reese's Peanut Butter Cup plant burns, folks. World's largest exporter of natural gas is grinding to a stop due to a strike, just as Europe is trying to fill up its coffers for winter. Food plants are starting to restart fires, and more are going up in smoke right now. And potato and pasta shortages are being reported from you guys from all over the United States, as predicted by this channel several weeks ago. Let's jump into these reports. All right, so welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant, and you guys send in your reports to let us know what you're seeing at your workplaces, what you're seeing at your stores, so that we can be on top of the supply chain shortages, food shortages, empty shelves that we see across the country. We want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. If you have retirement funds, you want to get them something that's more secure, you might want to talk to Jonathan and his team. They do a fantastic job. There'll be more about that at the end of the video. All right, so Chevron in Australia, they are the major natural gas supplier there. And Australia is the #1 exporter of natural gas in the world. Now, of course, to export natural gas, you got to liquefy it to get it nice and compact, and then you got to load it onto specialized pressurized transports. So it's a big deal. You have to have all the compressor stations. You got to have the ability to load these ships, and you have to have the specialized ships for that. Well, the unions in Australia just went on strike on Thursday. So a couple days ago, they just went on strike. Now, so far, it's been like intermittent strikes. They're kind of doing halvesies on that. So they're not fully going on strike. They're just taking certain outages. And this is kind of like a warning to Chevron. But they're about to turn those into 24-hour, 7-day-a-week strikes for the next several weeks, going through September 28th. So they started September 8th, and they're just like working their way up, and then there's going to be 2 solid weeks of full strikes starting on the 14th. So this coming Thursday, we're looking at major strikes that are going to just grind everything to a halt in Australia with natural gas exports. That has got Europe nervous. Prices of natural gas in Europe are spiking because they've been fearing this, and now it is a reality. Chevron has said this, that they see no reasonable prospect of agreement. So they are bracing for the strike. What Chevron is doing instead of negotiating with the workers is they are trying to get the Australian government to force the workers back to work. They're trying to get protection from the Australian government from people making their own choices and people actually flexing their muscles. And so they're trying to get the Australian government to use force to break up this strike. This is a big deal out there, and it is definitely impacting the world supply of natural gas. It is causing the United States natural gas prices to go up a bit as the U.S. is going to try to export more. But again, the United States can't export enough gas because we don't have enough terminals and we don't have enough ships. There's a limit of ships out there, but those ships could be shifted if we had more export terminals and compressor stations, which we don't. Because for a long time, the United States was basically importing natural gas from other places, as well as exporting it from certain terminals and then re-importing it in other terminals. So like New England imports natural gas by ships that come from other parts of the United States or comes from abroad if they can't find U.S.-made ships, which the Jones Act and all that kind of stupid stuff. All right, so there was a fire at the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup factory run by Hershey's, and so some of you out there are disconcerted by this. I know you're distraught. Now, it was a relatively small fire, and so they did shut down production, but they are hoping to restart production later this week. So by the end of the week, they're hoping to be back online with producing Reese's Peanut Butter Cups for everybody's Halloween enjoyment. I personally am not a super big fan of Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, so if you hate me, hit that thumbs up button. Just a no-win situation for you now, right? If you want to show you hate me, you got to hit that thumbs up button. So they're hoping to restart production there. Now, there was also an explosion and fire at a soybean processing plant in Illinois. 8 workers were injured. No word on when they'll be able to restart production. Of course, there's soybeans are used in a lot of things inside the United States. Not a super healthy thing to have in your food, but it is what a lot of people are eating these days. And so that means it's just another blow to the food processing out there. I have to admit, I haven't been keeping a super close eye on the food plants, and I've just started re-looking at that, and it is kind of shocking how much I mean, for a while there I was looking and there just wasn't anything, and then I started looking just recently in the last couple of days and started seeing these things starting to happen again. So when everyone was talking about it, suddenly they stopped. It's amazing how a little bit of awareness by social media and a bunch of the fact checkers coming out there and saying, no, there's nothing happening here, and the plant fires just immediately dropped, as if like someone said, hey, stop doing that. They're watching right now. But recently, those food plant fires have started back up again. It just slowly over the summer, but just recently into the fall here, we've been seeing a lot more fires. I'm going to start covering them again and just give you the information, and you determine what you think about that, all right? Or let us know down in the comments. And please do keep your updates coming down in the comments. Just use the word update, and then let us know what you're seeing at your workplace or hearing at your workplace, or if you talk to any managers of stores, getting information out there, or from truckers, that type of thing, or if you see stuff at your shelves in your local supermarket. This is from JT. You were right. Crazy, crazy. Went to Vera, Florida Walmart this morning, and there wasn't one single can of any type or brand of potatoes. No canned potatoes. I was doubly concerned when I realized that there wasn't even a space where the potatoes should have been. Good thing I keep a stack of cans of potatoes. This is from Don. Walmart in Safford, Arizona. Very thin on everything. Flour ID, the badge for it, down, and they now only have one shelf of TP, which is almost out. And the employee was just facing the shelves. This was at 7 a.m. So they weren't fully stocking the shelf. They were just putting product on the front of it. Again, that's a Walmart in Arizona. Wisconsin Badger says, Northern Wisconsin, Walmart manager told me that effective January 1st, no more cashiers nationwide. All self-checkout. Now, I did try to find some kind of confirmation on this, and I was not able to find it. In fact, it seems like in the last number of months, reports have been coming out that Walmart has been getting a lot of pushback from the self-checkout lines, and they're actually kind of pulling back from that. So I wanted to give you this piece of information because it's an important data point, but it doesn't seem to be driving just yet with what we're seeing out there in the news. So if you have more information about that from the inside, or you see some kind of article or something like that, please do let me know about that. We will keep an eye on that. Of course, that's a lot of jobs off, and I know a lot of you really, really hate the self-checkout lines. Personally, I actually really like the self-checkout lines, but that's just me. You may not realize it, but a lot of people on YouTube tend to be rather introverted, and I'm an introverted kind of person, and I don't like making a small chit-chat as I'm checking out. I rather just check it out myself, because if you've been through Walmart checkout recently through, you get so spoiled by these Aldi checkouts. They're just so fast. Then you get to the Walmart checkout, and it takes forever. I check out like an Aldi checkout person. So when I get to the self-checkout, I'm like beep, 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 boom. And then I'm out of there. So anyway, some of you really, really like having the person and the personal touch. But so we'll keep you updated on that. I think we should have the option. So people like me can just use the self-checkout so we don't have to be bothered. But those who want the people can go to the people. Matthew, just put your hate comments down below. It's great. And again, if you hate me, just hit that thumbs up button. Matthew says, and if you don't hate me, hit that thumbs up button too, okay? Matthew says, in Sacramento, California, I do my shopping at 4 stores, Rally's, Walmart, Winco, and Smart & Final. Consistently noticing certain things about certain products, no matter which of those stores I go to. Pasta prices and quantity available is terrible. If I see someplace on sale for only twice the price, I used to pay last year, then I'll buy if it's the right type of pasta, but they don't always see that. Potatoes have been either missing completely or very low quantity. Organic potatoes have been simply unavailable at any price, except I finally found some organic potatoes a couple days at Winco. So potato issues, pasta issues, that's what we've been saying, isn't it, folks? With the Durham grains, Durham wheat crops across the United States, Canada, and over in Europe, really, really bad this year. Pasta is going to get a little scarce, and potatoes, we're waiting for the potato harvest to come in, and it's going to be another 1 month or 2 months before those new potatoes get to your shelves, and we're just running out of last year's harvest. Kenneth says, in Memphis, I have looked for sliced potatoes at 2 Walmarts, the canned sliced potatoes, and a neighborhood Walmart, and cannot find any. The whole and diced are plentiful, but not the sliced. And this is from Nebraska Prairie Lady Prepper. And it was like 302. So it's like, wow, there's 301 other Nebraska Prairie Lady Preppers. Crazy. Pasta shortage update. We have very little pasta on the shelves here in the panhandle of Nebraska, from Safeway to Walmart to Dollar General and small mom and pop markets. This started over a year ago, and now the areas that used to have for pasta and has other merchandise now, like tons and tons of red sauce, but no pasta. I'm glad I grew extra spaghetti squash this year, and that's a great option out there if you can stand the spaghetti squash. That is a replacement for actual pasta, and it's a really healthy one too. Steve, I cannot stress enough how much I appreciate your potato warning. My husband and I really enjoy potatoes and listened to your warning a couple years ago, or most likely last year. It has taken us 2 years to learn how to grow them. This year we will reap the benefits of our very hard work and planning. We have red, yellow, and purple potatoes to last us the winter, and they taste much better than what Safeway and Walmart sells. And just the sense of accomplishment too, right? There's something about the love and care that goes into the food that you're eating when someone you love, or is preparing your food, and when someone you love is growing your food. It just tastes all that much better, doesn't it? Trucker Joe says, I wanted to update you on one of your previous videos on the cough and face mandates coming back. At first, I'm like, no way, but on September 8th, my wife drove me to our local Minute Clinic, located at our CVS store here in South Carolina, for an appointment I had. We walked to the back of the store where the clinic is located, and there, and behold, was a table with a box of blue face covers and a sign saying, please cover up before entering the clinic. So you can see, unfortunately for them, due to the reason I was there for, I did not comply, and stated that the many reasons behind my decision, past and present, for not wearing one, and added some personal experience with the juice that they told us was safe to take. That we would never fall for this again. To the senior nurse practitioner that was going to check me in, she also stated that I could be refused treatment for not wearing and complying, but then said that she would have to call her supervisor. As my wife and I waited for a return, other people coming in put them on like robots. A few did not, and the stares we got from the robots was slightly intimidating, but my wife and I stood our ground. When you're lied to the first time around, you know better the second time. In the end, I was able to get treatment with no issues. People, stand your ground. So an important message from Trucker Joe out there of standing ground. And here's the point. When you have the option, okay, when you have the option to stand your ground without, endangering your physical safety, like if you need a medical treatment, please just do whatever you need to do to get the medical treatment. If you need that medical treatment, do it. But if you have these options for like a checkup, you need to be pushing back. We all need to be pushing back. We all need to have this social protest where we are not complying with them when we have the option, when we have the power, we need to do that. Now, if they have the power and they have a surgery that you need, do what you need to do to get the surgery, right? But then just find your little ways of resisting, okay? Whether that's taking all their pens or, I don't know, whatever it is, just, I'm not suggesting stealing, but find your ways of resisting, right? Make it known that you do not approve of this and push back and give people grief about it for going along with it. Now, I understand a lot of these people are just doing their jobs, but, you know, go back to Germany, and those people were just doing their jobs too. And people need to realize that just doing their jobs, they need to be passing along these warnings to higher ups. Second thing I'll notice is in Trucker Joe's thing, while inspiring and everything, there's not one single period in here, and wow. That makes it hard to read, but inspiring. But all right, so HN says, went to the military commissary and they had no hamburger helper or tuna helper on the shelf. Multiple reports coming from you guys all over about hamburger helper. Suddenly I'm hearing a bunch of you talking about hamburger helper and not being able to find it on the shelf. So not sure what's up with that, but just to kind of give you a heads up. If you really like hamburger helper or really need it and you see it, you might want to grab it because a bunch of people are saying we're having issues with that. Karen went to Sam's Club today in Jersey Village, Texas, which is near Houston, apparently, not near New Jersey. They are now rationing basmati and jasmine rice at Sam's Club. 2 bags per member. Prices were astronomical, and one of the managers said the prices will keep rising. Now, India has banned the export of basmati rice and jasmine rice and regular rice. So if those are being imported from China, from India, then that makes sense. But a lot of rice does come from down in Thailand. Thailand's a major exporter. We're seeing some issues down there due to drought, but hopefully they can kind of keep up with the world demand. This is from Oman in the UK, in Hampshire. I'm sorry, Lord of the Rings makes me want to say Shire. Anyway, fronting is common now and less options on display. Stock allocation is a juggle with corner stores of large brands missing milk chocolate items. It might be milk and chocolate items, or milk chocolate, possibly. And less pasta while superstores get priority. Also, listening to the police radio at work and the number of self-harm calls, I'm changing that word, wanting to end it, has gone up from 7 a week to 12 a day. 7 a week to 12 a day. Mostly girls under 19. But luckily, they rarely go through with it. But folks, that is truly scary. What are we becoming as a society when we see those type of numbers of people who are at rope's end, really, literally? People are even starting to steal food rather than stuff in order to sell for drugs. Apparently, the cost for those is a week's wage for just one day's supply, they're being told. So people are stealing food in order for reselling as opposed to stealing products and stuff like that. So, all right, so please do keep your reports coming in, and please use some periods. Thank you for all of you who use those periods, and appreciate that. Appreciate all of your reports, though. Anyway, if you want to find out some more information from Genesis Gold, there's a form right here. You just click on that, fill out your information, and they'll send you an information packet, and you can just get your answers, get some answers to some questions, so you can think about whether you want to move over into physical gold, physical silver for your retirement plans. If you want to check out another video, there's one right up here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.